Hello everyone. In the previous session of Express, we have talked about what is a server, how we can build our very own server from the scratch, and we have understood how request response cycle work, and based on a particular request, based on the route, how we can send appropriate response to the front end, to the browser. And we have talked about how we can automate the server restarting process using Node.js. Now in this session, what we are going to do is that we are going to study an important concept called as templating using embedded JavaScript, using EJS, right? So understanding the concept of templating is really important, because using the concept of templating we can make our pages dynamic, right? Template gives us a layout, and in that layout what we have to do is that we have to just fill in the whatever the data we want to show. Okay, this might be a little bit confusing, but give me few minutes, everything will be crisp and clear, right? So understanding of templating is really important because it gives us a dynamic interface. And second, when we study React.js now, in that we talk about a concept called as virtual DOM, right? To understand the concept or how virtual DOM works, it is really important to understand the concept of templating. Okay, got it. Now, what is the meaning of template and how we can understand how templating works is, in school days, our college used to give us a resume template, right? A resume template is basically a standard layout, and in that layout what we do is that based on the skill, whatever the skills we have, we used to fill those skills in that template, in that layout, right? So this is one of the relatable examples to template in development, right? So here we will have a standard layout like name, skills you are having, your age, your CGPA, like something like that. Now the layout is same, the fundamental structure is same, but based on the student's requirement or whenever the student differ, then overall name and CGPA, skills, all this sort of things will change. Are you getting me? Right? Here the fundamental layout is same, but based on students' requirement, the information which we are filling in that layout is different. This is one example of templating, and another perfect example which I can think right now is Instagram profiles. So let me show you an Instagram profile. I will open Microsoft profile. So here you can see I'm having Microsoft profile. Now the overall layout of Instagram profile is same, irrespective of what profile it is, like whether I'm opening Microsoft account or Apple's account or Alia Bhatt account, irrespective of that, the layout is same, but the overall information I'm getting in that layout is different. For example, if I'm opening Microsoft page, I will get Microsoft logo and their post, something like that, but the standard, the overall structure, designing is same, but what is changing here, the overall content on that particular page is the only change. So this is an example of a template. Here you can see in Alia Bhatt account, I'm having Alia Bhatt profiles and like overall her post, all this sort of things. Here you can see in Microsoft and in Alia Bhatt profiles, the only change is data, but the overall structure is same. Now my question is, whenever a new user creates a profile, internally what Instagram is doing is, are they creating a separate HTML page for every account? No. The answer is, if they start creating a HTML page for each and every account now, then there are thousands of accounts in Instagram. So if they go with this conventional method, then they have to create thousands of Instagram HTML pages for this particular layout. So instead of creating thousands of Instagram HTML pages for each and every individual profile, what they do is that they will create a layout, and in that layout, based on the request, if the request is Microsoft, then I will get Microsoft content. If the request is Alia Bhatt, then I will get Alia Bhatt's content. So this is the perfect example of template, and in this session what we are going to do is that we are going to explore how we can create this types of template using embedded JavaScript. So here let us begin our lecture, and the technology which we are going to use here is EJS. EJS, the full form of EJS is embedded JavaScript, and this is used to create simple templating language, right? And templating is nothing but the formal definition of templating is in a static HTML page, if you include dynamic JavaScript, then that thing is known as a template. So here the developmental definition of template is if in a markup language, that markup language can be HTML, that markup language can be XML, whatever the markup language might be. In that markup language, if you include a programming language, that programming language right now we are using JavaScript. So if we include this thing in a static markup language, if we include JavaScript into that, then that thing we call it as embedded JavaScript, or you can say a template. And using embedded JavaScript we can create our templating. Okay, understood? Now how we can download embedded JavaScript EJS in our system. So to do that, what I'm gonna do is that I will go to my file manager, C drive, and in C drive users Taja. Now in this home directory I will create a folder. Let's say folder name is EJS. So I will create EJS folder. Now I will open this folder using VS Code. So okay, I will open VS Code, and using VS Code I will open this folder. So here let me open here EJS. Okay, now you can see I'm in EJS folder. Okay, I will show you how we can open it as well. So open folder, users Raja, and here I will be having EJS folder. Select this particular folder. Now you can see I am having my EJS folder here. Now in this folder what I will do is that first of all I will open my terminal, and in terminal I will write first of all here my path is users Daja EJS. Now in this first of all I will write npm init _y. So what this line will do is that it will create a package.json folder, JSON file in this folder, and in that I will have all the JSON related data. Here you can see I have created my JSON, and inside this I can also give my author name Jabir Hussain. Okay, Jabir Hussain. Now after creating my JSON file I have to install my Express. So here I will write npm I Express. Our Express installation will begin, and here you can see now I will get all my node packages. Okay, after installing Express again I will install npm I EJS. Now my EJS installation will begin. You can see I am having 16 packages installed and found 0 vulnerabilities. Now if you go in node modules you will see our EJS folder here. This is our EJS folder. Now we have successfully installed EJS in our folder. We have successfully installed Express and EJS in our EJS folder. Now how to use it? So to use it, first of all we need to require our Express. So we already know how to require our Express. We need to create index.js file. Now in this index.js file I will write const express is equals to, we have to require our Express package. So here I will write Express. Now after this I will create our server app is equals to, I am doing the old thing that we did in the last lecture, right? So after this I will write const port is equals to 3000, and I will write something like app.listen. For this particular port I will write console.log app is listening. I am giving this. Okay, now to import, or you can say to use our EJS, our embedded JavaScript in our index.js file, we need to write a line, and that line is this app.set. We need to set our view engine, right? So here first of all we need to write app.set view engine and comma EJS. So what this single line will do is that it will automatically import EJS in our server. Okay, our server is index.js. In that server, what we are doing is we are writing one line called as app.set in the curly parenthesis view engine comma EJS. This single line will import the packages of EJS. Now you might ask, Jabir, for Express, we used to write this all line const is equals to express is equals to require express and app is equals to express object, and we are creating our port, all this sort of things. But for EJS, we are not doing anything, like we are not writing require EJS, all this sort of things. Why is that? Because within Express we will get EJS, right? Automatically our EJS will initialized in Express, so we don't need to explicitly write const EJS is equals to require EJS. We don't need to write all this sort of things. So this is how we will write our EJS. Okay, this is the standard way of importing, or you can say using Express EJS package. Okay, now how we can use EJS, and using EJS how we can create our templates. So to understand that, let me go to EJS website. So here I will be having ejs.co. This is a simple website, and in this you will understand how we can use embedded JavaScript. Continue site. Okay, this is the website of EJS. Now you will see the first line we should be having is app.get, and for the home directory, slash is basically our home directory. We are getting some request and we are sending appropriate response to that. Now whenever, let's say I'm creating a general function for Express, so app.get, and whenever I get a response for home directory, what we generally used to do, we used to write request comma response, and for this request response I will write console.log, and I will write here home directory request. And let's say if I want to send something to my front end, to my browser, then what I used to write, request.send, and here I used to write hello. This is my home directory. This is my home directory. This is what I used to give here. Now let's say I'm running my server. So here first of all I will run my server, clear, and I will write node index.js. Our server has started. I will go to localhost 3000. You will see I'm getting a home hello. This is my home directory, and in my VS Code as well I will get the console.log statement, which is home directory request. Like this we used to send request using Express. But if I want to, let's say, send a complete HTML, CSS and JS package, a package of HTML, then how you can do that? Using embedded JavaScript. So in the place of send I will write render, and here I will send my old HTML page. Here I will send index.js, so index.html or index.ejs file. So let me save, and here let's say I'm creating index.js file, but the thing is, you need to remember that first of all, if you are sending something using EJS, then internally what EJS will do is that, let me show you in EJS I will be having ejs.js file. Now if you study here, I don't want to go into the depth of it, but generally what will happen is, if you want to send something, if you want to send a template to the front end, then EJS will look for a folder called as views. For example, here to use Express, what we have to do, first of all we have to write const express is equals to require express. This is a standard procedure, right, to create a server in Express. we have to write these things. Similarly, to send a template, whether it can be a HTML template, CSS template, or JavaScript template, irrespective of what it is, if you want to send something using EJS, then you have to create a folder called as views. So here I will create first of all folder called as views. Here in main directory, in my EJS folder, I will create views, and in this views I will create my EJS files. So here I will write index.ejs, or I will write home.ejs. Okay, now I will import my HTML. EJS is nothing but basically HTML in dynamic format. So here I will write h1. This is a home directory, and I will send created by EJS. Save. Now in the place of sending, normally we used to send request response.send. Like generally if I want to send some text, we used to write this line, but in the place of this line, if I want to send a template, then I will write request.render, let's say slash home.ejs. Now you will see that instead of sending a single one-liner or two-liner, what I'm doing, I'm sending direct a HTML page. So this is the power of EJS. So I hope you have understood what we are doing till date. I'm not going fast. EJS is used to create templates. Using EJS, you can send entire HTML with dynamicness in it. So here I will save it, and I will first of all close my server, again run it. Here node index.js. Now you will see app is listening. I will go to my server, refresh the server. It is showing some sort of error, slash home.js is not found. Okay, in views I am having, here I need to give, where is my, close this, app.get, okay, view engine EJS. Let me show you what's the error. App.get slash request.response render. Okay, I think I have to remove this, save, and go to the, first of all let me refresh again, index node index.js. You will see app is listening. Now let me again go to this. Okay, now you will see I'm having the old HTML page, and I can also connect our CSS along with it. Like let's say I'm creating CSS. I will add CSS here. For now I will add inline CSS. So here I will write style is equals to background color pink. Pink would be good, right? Let me save and go to the document, refresh the document. You will see now my old background is pink. Like this, for this HTML page you can attach JavaScript, you can attach CSS, you can like add bootstrap element as well. So here what we are doing is we are basically creating a HTML page, and based on the request we are sending that template. For example, let's say I'm creating a page only for superheroes, right? So here I will write superhero. Here in the views folder I will write superhero.ejs. Now in this I will write h1. This is a superhero page. Now whenever I get a request, let's say I'm getting a request slash Batman, then I want to show Batman here, or let's say I'm getting a request of slash Superman, then I will write, I want to show slash Superman. Then I can do that using the dynamicness of EJS. So here I can write in the index.file app.get, here I will write slash superhero comma, request response, request comma response. Let's say I'm sending request response dot render. I'm sending my superhero folder. So here I need to add within the main, like you have to remember here that whatever the EJS file you're creating now, it has to be inside the views folder. Internally, our EJS look for view folder, and inside that view folder, whatever EJS templates we are having, that templates will get displayed. If you are writing or creating some EJS template outside the view folder, then EJS will not find those folders. So here I will write superhero.ejs. Let me save it and go to the document. Now here I will give refresh the document. Okay, I will write here /superhero. Now based on the request here, I have to give superhero as the request, right? So let me refresh the server again. I'm not using node.mon, so like whenever I make changes, I need to refresh it. So here I will write index.js, app is listening. Now refresh. You can see this is a superhero page. Like this, you can send entire HTML pages using EJS. Now the question is, I have told you that HTML is static, but using EJS, we can make a markup dynamic. We can integrate JavaScript inside the HTML using EJS. How we can do it? Let us understand. So till date, till now we have understood how we can use our EJS. So to use EJS, first of all, we have to write this line, and based on the request, we will render the entire EJS files. Okay, understood. But the question is, how we can integrate JavaScript into our EJS file. So to do that, there is a concept called as interpolation syntax. So interpolation syntax refers to embedding expressions of JavaScript into markup language. Let's say I want to print some numbers, like multiplication of a number. Then I can do that using EJS. Like for example, let's say here I am writing paragraph or h1 tag, and in this h1 tag I want to print 2 × 20. So if I save this document, close the server and run again node index.js, app is listening. Now whenever I send a request to my server, here I will write, remove this, enter. You will see I'm getting 2 × 20. This is a like standard markup language, but there is no JavaScript here. Even though I'm writing cross symbol, but the multiplication is not getting happened. So to like implement JavaScript, to implement a dynamicness in our HTML file, what we have to do is we have to follow this tags. So EJS will give us a set of tags, and using this tags we can make our markup language dynamic. So the first tag we are going to study about is, let's say I want to make this particular number as dynamic. I want multiplication to happen here. So I will write less than symbol, greater than symbol, percentage is equals to, and give space, and again greater than symbol, less than symbol and percentage. Just save it. Now run your server again. So here I will refresh this document. Let me see. Okay, now you will see my multiplication is happening. So the first tag we have studied about is this tag. Let me write in the comments. Less than, okay, this is greater than, right? So here I will write in the index.js, greater than percentage is equals to space percentage less than. So this tag is used to make our numbers or expressions dynamic. Okay, understood. This is the first EJS tag. I want you guys to make note of each and every tag. This particular tag is used to perform operations, JavaScript operations within our HTML. Now the next tag is, let's say I want to print a number, right? I want to print a particular number from the data I'm getting from index.js. For example, generally what happens is, let's say I want to print some data which I'm getting from database. Then we can do that using a concept called as return statement. So here I will write, let's say I'm rolling some dice, right? So here I will create a variable, let dice val is equals to math.floor, and here let's say whenever I roll a dice, I will get a number from 1 to 6. So here I will write math.random function, this is a function in itself, into 6 plus 1. Okay, got it. Now I want to send this particular value from index.js file to my home.ejs, to my HTML file. Then I can do that using respond.render, and along with the file which I'm sending, along with it, let's say I want to send this particular number, then I can do that using num. I need to pass key value pair. So here I will write the key is num and the value is dice value. Like this I can send it. So here actually I need to pass it in the home directory, not superhero. So here I will write comma this one, and okay, and copy this also, remove it from my superhero. Now here, okay, let me remove it. Okay, now what is happening is, let me first of all close the server. Okay, now what I did is, let's say I'm rolling a dice. Whenever my page will get opened, a number from 1 to 6, I want to display it. I want to display a random number from 1 to 6. Now what I'm doing is, I'm calculating the particular dice value. Now after this, after calculating, while I am rendering, I am sending that particular value as a form of key value pair. You can imagine this as, let's say this is my server, and in this server I will get data from the database. Now whenever I get the data from the database using this server, if I want to display something on the front end side, then I can use this particular line. Right now we haven't studied databases, so I'm creating the variable within the server index.js file itself. Now in the home directory, what I will do is that let's say in the place of this I'm printing num value. So num, that's all. Let me save, and here I will write dice value is, that's all. Now let me save and run my server. Okay, here index.js, run my server. Now you will see app is listening. Now whenever I send a request to my file, let me refresh it, you will see this is a home directory created by EJS and the dice value is 5. Again refresh, the dice value is 4. Again refresh something, the value will get generated randomly. So I hope you have understood what we did here. So in the index.js file, while I get a request, whenever I get a request, I am calculating the dice value using random variable, a math.random function. Now after calculating the dice value, I am sending this dice value to my user, to my front end, using the key value pair concept. Now for this particular key, like for this particular object, I am printing the object in the EJS. Very simple to understand. Like this we can make our static HTML page more dynamic. Now the next concept is, for example, let's say if I get a number 6, then I want to print to my user, oh, you did good, your rolling dice is good. If I want to show conditional statements, then I can also do that. Like if I want to show, okay, for conditional statements, here let me close this. Now for conditional statements I can do greater than symbol percentage if my returned value, if my num is equals to 6. Again closing curly bracket, opening curly bracket, percentage, and that's all. Now here I will write h2 nice roll, that's all. And after this I can close my parenthesis. So here I will write percentage, open closing curly bracket, and again percentage this one. That's all. Now let me save, and I will go to I will run my server again. App is listening. Now go to the server, refresh. You will see I'm getting, whenever I get a number, random number 6, then and only my condition will print. Right now you will see when I get 6, nice roll. And if I am not getting 6, then I will not get the statement. Like this, my if statement will work. So to write if statement, first of all we have to write our this line. Where is this line? Yeah. First of all we have to write this. After this, inside I will write my if condition, opening curly brackets and percentage greater than symbol, and this line, and inside this whatever I want to show, I can show it to my user. Like this we can also add our conditional statements, and along with conditional statements I can also add looping statements as well. So to add looping statements, for example, let's say I want to print a number, a 2 table, like let's say I want to print multiplication table of 2, then I will write ul within this ordered list. I want to print it. So here I will write less than symbol, percentage for let I is equals to 0, and I should be less than or equals to my range, or you can say 10 I plus plus, and again opening curly bracket and percentage greater than symbol. Okay, now inside this I want to print my ordered list, right? So here I will print my list, percentage is equals to, and we know how to perform multiplication, right? We have to write greater than, less than, this is a less than symbol, or greater than, I don't know, this symbol percentage is equals to, and I will write number, or you can say 2 multiplication, right? So 2 cross, I'm basically like creating the format, percentage is equals to I percentage. Okay, I'm making sort of complex, but it's not gonna be complex, believe me. Very easy to understand if you understand how we can add like multiplication. So here I will write 2 into I, that's all. Now percentage, again this, I can also remove this, I don't need this thing. If this is a number, I don't need. Okay, 2 cross I, and I'm printing multiplication of 2. Okay, got it. Now I have to close this as well. So here I will write my for loop closing statement, percentage closing bracket, percentage this, that's all, right? So this is how I can perform my multiplication. Let me save it and go to my document, go to my file. I will refresh this thing. You will see I'm getting ordered list, like okay, 2 cross 0, 0, 2 cross 1, like this. I'm getting multiplication of different table, and I hope till now we have talked about how we can make our JavaScript operations using this single line. So to integrate JavaScript operations, we have to write this line. When you write greater than, percentage is equals to, and whatever the operations, you can write it inside this, and percentage less than symbol. So this is one way of adding JavaScript in our HTML file. Now after this we have talked about how we can integrate conditional statements as well, and finally we have studied how we can add loops in our HTML file itself. So, and also we have studied about, like we have seen dicing system, conditional dicing. Whenever I get 6, I will get output as this, and my number, like multiplication table of 2, like this. You can print multiplication table of 3, 4, 5, something like that. You will understand EJS if and only you understand this tags. This tags, let me zoom it. So this tags makes each and everything in static HTML into dynamic, and I will provide you the documentation link. I want you guys to read it and understand it. I might be going a little bit fast because I'm not having much time, but yeah. So we have understood how we can use EJS interpolation syntax, which is basically adding our JavaScript into markup language, parsing data like from index.js file to our main directory, our home directory, right? After this, conditional statements, looping, and this is important here. Let's say I want to integrate my JavaScript, I want to integrate my styling files to my HTML. Then I have to use the concept of serving static files. I have to write this line. So to integrate CSS or any like image or anything, I have to write in my app.index file, I have to write app.set, and here app.set, here what's the line, sorry, app.use, and inside the use I need to give public. I have told you, right, internally what EJS does is it will automatically see for view folder, and inside the view whatever the files I'm having, right, whatever the index.html EJS files I'm having, those files will get rendered by my get function whenever I use EJS. Similarly, to integrate or to locate our CSS, JavaScript files, we have to write this line, and along with this line we have to create another folder called as public, and inside this public folder we have to write, we are gonna write our CSS files, right? So here let's say I'm writing style.css. in this I will write for everything font size is large and font family is something like something, I'm giving random thing, and background color is black, and font, or you can say color, is white, like this I'm giving. Now what will happen is, if I want to integrate this particular line, let me remove the line styling here. Okay, now if I want to include the styling to this particular EJS file, then I'm gonna link something like this. So here I will write link rel is equals to something, here I will give style.css, and automatically my EJS will understand, okay, in the public folder I'm having a CSS file and I need to locate, I need to reference this particular home.ejs file to that style.css file. Like this, automatically a referencing process will get started using EJS. Now the very last concept is include. So include is a concept which is used to send mini templates. For example, let's say in my server, this is my like app, right? I'm having this app, a website. Now inside this, let's say I want to show a mini template, a sub template, then I can do that using include function. So here I will write, let's say I will copy this entire head, and here I will create a new folder, head.ejs. I will paste it here. Now let us consider that this particular 8 lines is a subtemplate in itself, and I want to send this subtemplate to my home.ejs and my superhero.ejs. So I can do it using a concept called as include. So here I got to write include first percentage / include, and here I will give includes / head.ejs. Now what this will do is that it will give me the subtemplate. Let me save it and go to my browser. You will see when I refresh it, I'm getting my head. So what this will do is that it will include the head part of my like the initial 8 lines of my whole body, whole HTML. So you can consider that this head is a subtemplate in itself, and if you want to send this head to other like EJS files, then you have to write this simple line. So till date we have understood, till now we have understood what is EJS, how templating works, how we can add our you can say JavaScript into our markup language using different tags. We have studied 3 different tags. First one is including normal expressions, second one is conditional statements, and third one is looping statements. After studying this, we have studied how all the packages, all the external files like CSS files, JavaScript files, those files should be in public folder. Automatically EJS will look for public folder. That is why we have to write this line app.use express.static, this particular line, in order to locate our styling files. And finally, we have studied about includes. So this is a simple and easy lecture. I hope you have understood the overall concepts that we have talked about. Now in the next session, we will talk about RESTful APIs. So with that being said, I will see you in the next one.